Shout out to Saban TV. Saban TV, thank you for being the first one in this morning. Shout out to Devin Gale. Thank you for being here. Shout out to the people going out to work this morning. Shout out to the people coming in from work this morning. Extra special big up shout out to the people who work multiple jobs. I have the utmost respect for you. Shout out to my entrepreneurs, my stay-at-home moms and pops, my retirees. Shout out to the drivers. Shout out to the Uber driver, Lyft driver, truck driver, taxi driver, food delivery drivers, round town and long distance truck drivers. Shout out to the crossing guards. Shout out to the school teachers. Shout out to law enforcement personnel, military personnel. Shout out to the, let me see, whatever your job description is, shout out to you. Shout out to every single clean hearted, good hearted person who wants good for others as much as you want good for yourself. That's where it's at. It's Friday, and it is the 31st of the fifth month of the year. And this day, Friday, we normally say, it's the freaking weekend, baby! Clap it up, clap it up, clap it up, clap it up. Somebody says, SouFLo, why you always do that when me day at work and I'm listening and then this big loud hey, comes on and I gotta like run and grab my device and so on and so forth. It's just us celebrating life, my friend. It's Friday. It's Friday. And we here and we feeling good. And we're healthy and we're strong and we give the most high praises for that first and foremost. Now we move forward into this session here this morning. I was gonna have an open session this morning, but considering the topic, I figured I wouldn't because I can't bother with the drama this morning. I had a long night last night. I don't know if y'all can tell. I'm about to put my glasses on in a minute and mask up my eye and all these things. See, Missy Brom Brom is in the building this morning. Banches is here. Kaz Robinson. Banches says it's the freaking weekend. Farron is in the building. Claudette Sterling is here. Asserin Odetta is here. Elaine Brown. Virtuous Fire. Claudette Sterling says, good morning, SouFLo. Good morning to you, Claudette. Thank you for being here, family. 5Field63 says, afternoon, SouFLo, and everyone else on this platform, all the way from England. Big up yourself and thank you for being here, fam. Claudette Sterling says happy weekend to all. Yes, it's a beautiful weekend start off. The weather is nice here where I'm at. I don't know if anybody is still experiencing cold weather at this time of the year, but we're having beautiful weather here in South Florida. Know what I mean? Come on down and have you some. Not really. BM, good morning. Julie Tapper, thank you for being here. BM says, blessings, everyone. Simone G is in the building. Virtuous Fire says, it's the freaking weekend, baby. Stacey and Williams, big up yourself. King Biggs is in the building. King Biggs says, final day in Florida. Jano, me no want leave. Please tell them, no, King Biggs, for those of you who've never been here to this state called the Sunshine State, you have to come and visit the Sunshine State. King Biggs, what y'all do ya? What are you doing here? You came for like, I don't know. King Biggs probably came here for work. King Biggs be all over the place. Sean Casella's in the building. Great goodies. Big up yourself. Missy Brom Brom says it's 61 in New York. 61. Floridians can't handle 61. When we get 61 down here, we look like it's 0 degrees, like Eskimo weather. The big jackets come out, you know, the hoodies and the this and the that. We can't handle that. We're 75 and above people. See, it's chilly in New York. Country girl, big up yourself. Thank you for being here. Came to see my sister, King Big says. Okay. A little bit of family, a little bit of fun time on these things. That's what's up. Banches says, big up King Biggs. It's been good. Hot in Florida. Yeah, man. Even gloves. Hell, Saban TV. Saban TV is in the building. Saban TV, even gloves. We put on the gloves, the hat, the pull down Scully, everything. It'd be like 65 outside. It'd be 65 outside. People calling out from work. Ain't nobody, this kids ain't going to school today. What? And you know what's crazy? The new generation of kids in Jamaica too, in Florida. I don't know if you see them because my kids do it. I'm like, Jaden, I'm sweating bullets out here and I got on a tank top or what they call a wife beater. I hate that word, a wife beater. If you think about the consciousness, subconscious of that word, wife beater. I guess that's what the man have on when him that beat him wife in most of those old films or whatever. But I'll be having on my tank top, my marina, and them word that we use. And my child is up here, sweatpants, hoodie. I mean, thick material too, like winter weather stuff. I'm like, boy, you all right? You sick? He's like, no. Why you ask, Dad? I said, because of what you got on. What you have that on for? I don't know. I just feel comfortable in it. And all of them do it. So it's something about their blood. I don't know what it is about them. But I love having them around though, because in the wintertime, what we call winter in Florida, I be driving by, and if they see like a beach or something, they be like, pull up. I pull up to the beach, them just strip down and jump into the water. That water be cold. The water be like 65, 70. I'm not getting in. When I get in the water, if it's in a pool or if it's out a door at the beach, that water I feel like God Himself turn up the bubble bath and turn on the temperature and warm my bath for me. I gotta touch that water and it be like, ooh, the water warm. I could make a cup of tea out of it. That's how I jump in water. I don't jump in no ice refrigerator water. But they're athletes too, and they be doing that cold bath something at school. When I was in athletics in school, we didn't do any of that. Like they go to the gym and then they submerge them in the ice baths, the ice tubs. Them do that. Me can't do none of that neither. So, wife beater is what you wear when your wife is beating you. Kaz Robinson says. Woo. If you think about it though, Kaz, look back on the old films, right? The older films. I think why the womanizers and the abusers of women in those films, they always had on those marina or those tank tops, and that we call wife beaters. I think that's why them call it wife beater. I'm gonna put my wife beaters on. It makes no damn sense. But anyway, we do a lot of stuff that don't make sense in today's world, and we call it okay. So here we are this morning. Yes, them kids make you hotter how they dress. Yeah, they make you feel hot how them dress. But they're a different breed. I think you can look at your kids and just see humans revolving. That that's what they look like to me. Humans revolving. It's like some species that were born without scale and without fins, but over time them end up growing fins and scale to survive and adapt to Earth. I think that's what's happening with our kids. Let me take this phone call real quick in the morning. Start off with that. Live on the air with SouFLo. Good morning.
Good morning. So far, you doing? I'm a first time caller.
Good
I just
morning,
have a
family.
quick take.
Quick take.
You can hear me?
Yes,
Yeah, I have a
loud and
quick take
clear.
on something.
Uh-huh.
So I hear you guys talking about the dual citizenship with
Hmm.
Mark Golden. He has nothing to do with whatever you're talking about at the moment. I'm just calling because it's been on my mind for quite some time.
Okay.
Um,
So why you didn't call one in the
so
morning when we were talking about it?
no, I'm at work and I get the opportunity to call right now, so
All
I'm
right.
just keeping you guys updated.
I appreciate it. Go ahead.
So I have a quick take on that. So Andrew want Mark Golan to give up his dual citizenship because he's a citizen of the England, right?
Yes.
What my take is that is why Andrew Holness is not fighting for Jamaica to travel to England without having a visa instead of instead of killing Mark Golan to give up his dual citizenship to
Mm.
England.
Mm.
Because Jamaica is part of the Commonwealth, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Trinidad and Tobago citizens can travel to England and not they don't require a visa, right?
Mm-hmm.
Barbuda, Antigua, Grenada, Saint Vincent, because they're all part of the Commonwealth nation.
Mm-hmm.
So my take is that Andrew should be fighting for Jamaicans to travel to England without they required a visa instead of killing Mark Golden
To be treated
to
with
go
some
to
level of
you know
respect, like the others,
yes,
like the others.
yes.
Very interesting topic you bring up. Very, and
So
I can't even dodge it. I was gonna say, listen, this is out of topic, but we could ride with this too. Finish what you're saying,
yeah.
please.
So that was my take. I'll just keep calling to give my 2 cents on it.
Okay. All right. All right. Um, before you go, let me say this:
Yeah.
the UK answered back because that question was asked. So why Jamaicans aren't getting the same privilege, like all these other Caribbean islands? Them bossy power, these other Caribbean islands, they're like, I could fly to the UK for free. I don't need a visa. I just buy a ticket and go and come back. Them no want uno Jamaicans because uno cause too much problems everywhere you go. Well, the UK gave an answer to that. And the answer is that there are a lot of Jamaicans there already. And the fact that a lot of Jamaicans also run off there when when they get a chance to go there. Them run off and don't return home. So there's an overcrowding of that particular population of people in the UK already. That was their what they said to justify that. But yeah, you're right
And
about Andrew standing up for, us being able to be treated like the rest.
yeah, I personally think that he should be focusing more on that and just trying to work something out with the England, I don't know, Prime Minister or whoever is in charge of there, for Jamaicans to have that opportunity to travel there
I
without a
absolutely
visa.
agree. I absolutely agree with you. Absolutely.
Anyways, big up yourself, so just a calling comedy at work.
All right, my brother. Go back for the people that work. Manners and respect here.
Yeah,
all
yeah, yeah.
all right. Yeah. We are hardworking people out here. You understand? Big up yourself. All right. Buenos dias, Uncle Soflo. Greetings all the way down at Buenos Aires. So Cartel and Trump both get chopped. Oh, God. Jeff. Jeff, big up yourself. Buenos Aires. Oh, you must be down there. I know you're working and stuff, but you must be having some fun too. I bet the weather is beautiful in Buenos Aires also. We're going to get into all those things. Segueing right now, right into our topics for the morning. So, Vybz Kartel was denied bail. This is going to be an extensive conversation. Here's the thing. For the people who doubt me and doubt my skills and doubt my time that I invest in paying attention, in studying, in observing, in internalizing, in interpreting, it's okay. You don't have to give me my ratings, but me know what me I do. And a lot of you always come back later and say, Blood fire, you did right in a dog. Go look at the video that I put up, right? Before the verdict was read. I put that video up about, I was sitting here after we did morning thoughts, and I was working on another project that has nothing to do with YouTube or nothing. And it just dawned on me. I said, the language that that judge used yesterday, that language already tells us what the judge is going to say today. That bill they're going to get denied. So I said, boom, let me put a video up real quick just to keep my audience ahead of everything else. And then I went into the reason why I said that whole school me thing. But we're going to talk about more about that this morning alongside other things concerning that case. We're also going to talk a little bit about L.A. Lewis this morning, and we're going to also talk about a 3-year-old sad story, a 3-year-old that got chopped to death yesterday, and then Donald Trump, of course. So these are our 4 topics for the morning. Donald Trump found guilty on all charges, a 3-year-old chopped to death by a mentally ill individual in Jamaica yesterday, Vybz Kartel denied bail, and L.A. Lewis. As usual, this morning, I'm going to sip my drink. This right here, this red something here, this is watermelon and beet. Beet, red beets, yeah, and watermelon. Straight. So I'm sipping this for 60 seconds, and you choose where we start, and we'll take it from there. And you have 60 seconds, go. Stacey Ann Williams says the 3-year-old. Let's start there. Stacey Ann Williams is the only one. King Big says, what did L.A. Lewis do now? Just wait till we get to that. 3-year-old Stacey Ann. Okay, please remember, if you don't vote, somebody else will vote for you. Stacey Ann is the only one that said 3-year-old, so we'll start at the 3-year-old. All right. Reggae Girl says 3-year-old too. BM says all topics. We can't start at all topics, BM. What I deal with? Andrew Skinner says 3-year-old. Claudette Sterling, 3-year-old. It's a lot of 3-year-olds. 3-year-old. 563 says the 3-year-old as well. Saban TV, we're 30 seconds in with 30 seconds to go. The time is flying. Saban TV says Cartel. Erica Dean says Donald Trump. Marie's Message 411 TV. Big up to Marie's Message 411 TV. Y'all could go over there and check out that channel. Her story is super deep, and it might help some of you with your healing journey. She says 3-year-old. Dorothy T says morning all, happy Friday. Julie Tapper says 3-year-old. Virtuous Fire 3-year-old. It looked like it's gonna be 3-year-old. We have 10 seconds to go. Asarin Odetta says 3-year-old. Devin Gale 3-year-old. Missy Brom Brom 3-year-old. Dorothy T 3-year-old. BM is smiling. 5Field 60 says leave Cartel to the last, please. Yes, because the one that I like that. All right. And it looks like it's going to be the 3-year-old. Donna Davis seals the deal. Carrie Ann Jones finalizes it at 3-year-old. So the 3-year-old story it is. Boy, look, look at the icon of this video this morning and look on that little boy there. I mean, heartbreaking to the fullest. Heartbreaking. Sister Fia, thank you for being here this morning. Hotep. That baby boy is so beautiful. And I was just telling my daughter yesterday, we were chilling out, and my daughter, 3 years old, Milani, she's about to be 4 already. She a pandemic baby. But Milani, she said, um, I said, you're beautiful, right? I tell her she's beautiful all the time. And her brother is there, and she says, so what is Papa? We call Kai Papa. She said, so what is Papa? I said, Papa is handsome. Boys are handsome, girls are beautiful. And my daughter goes, no, um, I'm handsome. I'm handsome too, right? Because she always wants to be everything that anything her brother does, she wants to do it. And if she can't do it better, or at least do it just as good as him, she cries. And sometimes you'll hear her crying. You think somebody lick her. What happened? Papa is doing this and I can't do it. Like that. And that's what drives younger siblings to be like so advanced. Because when people talk to her, they're like, how old is she? She speaks so well. I'm like, she's 3 years old. No way she's 3 years old. We take her to public settings where they have play dates, to the park and whatnot. Her mother does most of that. But when me go, we get it all the time. And people compare their kids to her. How old is she? How old is that one? And their child is 5 and my daughter is 3, right? And they're like, wow, she's 3? My son's not speaking yet, or he's barely speaking. Me not make them feel bad though. I usually say stuff like, well, our first one, he didn't speak until really late. He didn't have anybody to bounce off of. He has older siblings, but they weren't around like 24/7. Him locked in with his sister is able to bounce off of him and learn everything that he already learned. I say all this to say this. Children, our most precious, I don't want to say commodities, but our most precious gifts from the Creator, children. And I look at everybody's children the same way. It is our responsibility, that whole village thing. I'm old school. I was raised by old school people. That whole village thing is still stuck in my head. So reading a story like this, Port Mariah, St. Mary, I look at the little boy yesterday and it broke my heart. Nursing wounds in his head, face, hands that were inflicted in an attack that also left 3-year-old Asher Campbell dead and 4 other people injured. David Chopper John Wan on Thursday struggled to understand why they were attacked because they didn't provoke it or anything. They're just going about their business. You remember in Jamaica, someone might remember this. When in my community, when we was growing up, right, we had a man that came back from the UK and he was disturbed mentally. And we used to call him all kind of name, but we used to make sure we call him the name them from way down a road. So when he started running towards us, we already have like 100 meters space between we. So we just fly go back to go. And he used to fling rock stone and all these things, right? Back then they used to say don't go England because if you go England you will come back mad. So somehow we used to afraid. Oh, send me go America. Me no want to go to England because everybody will come back from England just mad out. I guess they'll be like, oh, I might. So what you doing? And they come back with that accent there and them act very different. So we used to make up name Gimal, Rickety 69, Dumpling Nyama, and these kind of things we used to call this man. But as I grew older, leave Jamaica, go back, start going back and forth, and you age, and you start paying attention to mental health in our community, is something that is so underrated. It is something that is so pushed underneath the rug. It is something that is a boring conversation for most people. Skip the page, man. Make we talk about something else. But if you all notice, it happens enough. It happens a lot where somebody head just take them and them just kill people. Them just kill their mother. They kill their father. Them kill their brother and sister. Or they just attack random people, members of the community. And this happens in Jamaica more often than we would like to discuss. Every time we do a video on it, that's some of the lowest viewed videos. And we don't do it for the views. We do it to put the problem on the table so we can have a real conversation about it, right? What we need to force change. Something needs to be done. If you look at this poor little youth, right? That youth had so much potential. The poor baby not even start to live yet. He's 3. He ain't even start to live yet. He my daughter age. And I look at my daughter and I'm like, my daughter is fine, right? See him there? Whoever you want to call him, cute, handsome, somebody, baby. You can tell, say he was well taken care of too, you know? At least judging by this picture, he was well taken care of. Him have him look here, him here neat up and thing, him dressed nice and all these other kind of things, well clean and come out and them something that people are love and take care of them child and somebody just run up out the blue because their headspace ain't good. But the whole community knows that this person headspace not good. And we've made it customary to just walk around these people every day. I'm watching a video on IG the other day, and the man take the machete, you know. I'm sure a lot of y'all might have seen this. The man have the machete in his hand, and then they're at a gas station, and the man have the machete in his hand. One of them machete that we call a billy. If you're a country person, you know where a billy is, at the big broad machete where them use chop sugar cane and them something there. And they have one little hook at the end, right? And you use it, go bush, then pull down tree limb with it and chop and thing. The man starts saying something like he's saying, like him would have started say, I am the greatest that has ever done it. And today's the day that and him draw the machete on the ground, right? Shing! Tell me why the people still standing there watching him. Tell me, the minute you say, I am the greatest, that me took it off. Usain couldn't left faster than me. So I'm watching the video and I'm saying, them are going to just stand up there, sir. They're just going to stand there and just don't do nothing. You know the next thing me hear? Ah! They might chop him up. A brother was standing there out of the rest of people that was standing there. Him get Ross chop up. And I'm still thinking like we take it. This is how much we take mental illness and the levels it could go to for granted. Literally, the people them turn up the till the man chop up one of them. And the man act out with a machete in his hand all the time. He might drive on the ground, shing, shing. I was like, yo, listen, man. But we need to have this conversation. You see this story? The man says, I was delivering fish. And when I reached the yard gate to drop off the fish, I just feel a stabbing on my neck. He said he turned around and he saw a man that he did not recognize standing there. I have the video. I'm gonna share the video to the chat room to our WhatsApp chat. But I have the video, but the video is of him, the person who did it. The community caught him and them tie him up with rope and they have him on the ground on his back. I don't want to take chances and show it on YouTube and then YouTube take down our whole morning video because me sure that, right? But so they had him there on the ground and thing. The community accosted him. The man said, the man cross him hand like a Muslim. And then him say, Allah, Allah, I need to kill this man. The man is a cultist. This is what 56-year-old Vaughn, who is a newspaper vendor and a laborer, said. And the fish him go drop off. Not expecting nothing. Stabbing him neck. Turn around. This man standing there with his hands crossed. Talking about, Allah, Allah, I need to kill this man. He said he later realized that his attacker, who continued to hit him after he stabbed him in his neck, is actually the son of a man that he considers to be a friend of his. Me and the man father, we were at the seaside this morning. I'm a friend. We are fishermen. And good I see. And now this happened. Now, despite being in pain, he is grateful that he is still alive. And according to the Port Maria police, between 3:30 and 4:30 p.m. on Wednesday, Asher was walking with family members. Asher is the young 3-year-old boy. He was walking with family members when he was attacked by the man that was wielding an iron pipe and a knife. As they tried to stop the attack, the boy's mother and 5 other people were chopped and they were hit on different parts of their bodies. So anybody tried to stop them from what he was doing to the young boy, him chopped them too. And a lot of people got chopped. I don't know if you could imagine the frenzy you must be in as a mom trying to save your 3-year-old, but machete wheel, what our knife a stab. What are you doing? What are you doing? You know. Now, in addition to war, the injured include Asher's 9-year-old sister, who received a wound to her left hand, and her mother, who is 45-year-old Philippa Walker, who received lacerations to her right hand, 58-year-old Philip Brown, who received stab wounds to his face and lacerations to both of his hands, and 61-year-old Michael Brown, who was hit in the head, his head bust up with a pipe, and on the fingers. The man who allegedly wielded the knife and the iron pipe that left the damage is in police custody. He is charged with murder and he is charged with wounding with intent. His court date is being finalized as we speak. He is 33-year-old Williams, who's a resident, who the residents say recently returned from overseas to live with his father. Recently returned from overseas to live with his father. Y'all pull the story together that I'm speaking of, right? Or what may I tell you, say? Remember how I start the story out? And I said when I was growing up, we used to say people will come back from foreign, especially come back from England, them move fast. Them because in the UK, I think like in winter time, same thing in New York or anywhere there's winter, people move fast in the winter because they're trying to get to the train station or get out of the cold, get inside the house, get to work, bam. They come back to the Caribbean island. We move slow in a Jamaica. If you hear reggae music, listen to the beat, that's how we move. That's our rhythm. So when them a move off kilter, they look different than the rest of it. So we used to say in mad out, England, him just come back from. Yeah, I didn't read the story before. I'm reading it to you now. Look at this. Him just come back from overseas, just returned from overseas and was living with his father. And look at what he did. You see what I say? Now, I'm not trying to put out there propaganda that people should fear people that just came back from overseas, but I'm trying to tell you that there's a lot of mental health issues. I watched a documentary yesterday, and the documentary yesterday was about mentally ill people in prisons in the United States of America, how they're treated. There's one particular man, now watch, the whole thing, the man used to do in him hand, big load of doo too, and slap it on the wall, so bang, and it splash everywhere. And then he would write artwork in it, in the doo. And his cell was one of the nastiest cells to clean up. And every time they went to clean, the trustees went to clean it up, they'll be like, himself that's nasty. He used to cut himself, bleed all over the cell, mix the blood with the doo. I talk about real something, So they had him on medication and all that. The whole time they're interviewing him and saying, like, when him up on the meds, them ask him, like, so how you feeling? He didn't give no inclination that he was from anywhere else but the United States of America. Kiss me neck back. The man do 17 years in a U.S. prison, in a mental ward in a U.S. prison, living like that. You see the day when he was released, immigration pick him up. Guess what them send him go? Straight to Jamaica. I was like this yesterday. Now look at this right here. Straight to Jamaica, them send him. And I just watched a documentary yesterday. So we don't know the background of these people. Remember when we did telling them before also, I said that there needs to be a system when people are coming back into Jamaica from overseas. Checks and balances. We want to know who are come back HIV positive. We want to know who are come back with all kind of other something. We want to know who was incarcerated overseas and in a mental ward and was on medication and now won't be getting that medication because they don't deport you with a lifelong supply of the medications that are needed. They just unleash these people on the society in Jamaica, and then we have to figure out after them run down and chop up one and we picnic them. Oh, Ross, a Mass George son, say England or foreign him did there, and him just come back not too long ago, and the boy look like him mad out. Yes, Missy Bram, he was Jamaican. He was Jamaican. And I couldn't pick it up. I was just interested in watching the documentary. And they interviewed multiple people who had mental health issues. And they would show you videos of when they're not on their medication and they're rambling. And one of them was like 654-73-13-21-9. Yeah, 999. Huh? What? And they said, where do you live? What John, do you live on Orange Street in on 41st Terrace and at Building City? And he's like, yeah, yes. 75 15 21 11. Yeah, that's when they're not on their meds. So may I say somebody like this, them rotted, pick up and send go back to Jamaica after he did 17 years. 17 years in an American prison under heavy medication. Anyway, back to this story now. The checks and balances I'm talking about, when people are coming in, I'm not telling nobody if you're going to lock up my people, them. Freedom is the best thing ever. But I'm saying, in order to keep the rest of the population safe, the people them need to be vetted when they're coming in. Jamaica should have one big building that catch all deportees when them are come back into the building, into the country. And then you're vetted to go through. For those who only went overseas and you overstay, you're welcome. And, we did a try look a better life somewhere else. The thing never work out. Them catch them send we back. Okay, welcome back home. Start over again. Them people there, them know how the thing run already. Send them back home, right? Go right through. For the ones who were incarcerated and did how many years, we have to check out your mental condition, see what you were in. There should be a rapport between our system and the system you were incarcerated in overseas. Was he in your psych ward? What types of medication was he on? Does he have a health record that shows any blood tests that was done, any diseases that were found, etc., etc.? You know what I'm saying? Them don't have none of that, my friend. You get deported, come right through. That's it. Right through. Madman, good man, bad man, sad man, everybody come right through. Hopefully one day we'll get to all that. You know what I mean? Because it's super needed. The man who allegedly wielded the knife and the iron that left the damages is in police custody, charged with murder and wounding with intent. His court date is being finalized as we speak, and he is 33-year-old Devon Williams, who the residents say he recently returned from overseas, and he's now living with his father here in the community. Although he wasn't home when the incident occurred, Cynthia Murphy, a senior citizen who lives in the community and who knows both of the families of the accused attacker and of little Asher, was among those that were rattled by this attack. She said, I know him, I know him. Father must be out of his mind right now. If you know, say your son come back from foreign, come kill one little 3-year-old, chop him up in the community. She said, I know the baby too. Nice little boy. And everybody that got injured, me know them. Me feel it. Me feel it. One man who asked not to be identified by name said that he witnessed the entire horrific attack. Me literally see everything, him say. The youth walk past my gate with a knife and a pipe. Iron. I'm a pass my gate. And the girl come up with her kids. And him just start chop and lick them and chop and lick them. Everything happened so quickly. Me frightened. Soon, some people have theorized that William's family knew all along that he was struggling with mental health issues. But that's us. We will know, but we won't say nothing, right? Somebody must say, oh, behind him. Pray, we have to go pray it off him. Make we can go up Pastor Blair, make Pastor Blair see if him can lay hands upon him. Maybe he's a demon in him and him need an exorcism. That now work. Make we can go up a Mother Joan. See if some obia can work upon him. Cause obia somebody obia him, so we have to go reverse the obia. Like we come up with everything else except for proper knowledge of how mental health issues work. A family friend opted not to be identified said that her daughter, first of all, some people have theorized that the family knew all along and the family just wasn't doing nothing about it. Them having to roam the community just like that. And see it there now, he mashed up 6 people and killed the baby. Said one young man as he joined in a spirited conversation taking place in a neighborhood shop. A family friend who opted not to be identified by name said that her daughter and Asher are almost the same age and they often played together. She said she broke down in tears after watching a video that has now gone viral on social media. When I heard his mother scream, knowing that I have a little girl just like that little boy there, man, I broke down in tears. The woman said, fear gripped the usually quiet neighborhood. The whole community is shaken because we're not used to such drastic violence. What devastates everyone the most is that we all have children that go up and down the same road, coming and going from school to and from. And it could have been any one of them. And I suppose that's what makes it more traumatic. So remember Asher, the little boy, as being happy and always playing with his bigger brother on the bicycle. The concerned woman who recalled once being chased by another man who is also believed to be of unsound, you see, another man who is also believed to be of unsound mind said that there are several other individuals who are believed to be mentally challenged in that same community. Now we are going to ask ourselves this, right? Back in the day, we used to see 1 and 2 people what we call madman. And those would be our homeless people in Jamaica, right? And they weren't really homeless. Them just stray gone away from them yard. And them family just left them, make them go. You know? Well, me say uncle, you know, me see him way out a Christiana. Yes, you know, same head take him and him walk gone way out the song. And out the same hang out now. But you know, him come home every now and then and me make sure same get him food and them something there. You know, sometime him beard and we change him, put him in a some good clothes, and before you know it, him gone again. We can't hold him, but what we are gonna do? That's how the conversation usually goes. This is somebody in the community that is telling us that another person in that same community chased them down in similar manner, and that there are several of those types of people in that particular community. That's a powder keg waiting to explode. So if you ask if it's gonna happen again, yeah, it's gonna happen again. But what can we do to stop it from happening again? That's the important part of the conversation. What can we do to stop this from happening again? You know, this monster has several heads. And if we start talking about how so many people are like losing their minds and developing all these mental issues, you have to factor in drugs. You have to. You got to factor in depression, drugs. I think those are the 2 main ones. Depression and drugs, you know, contributes a lot. Now, we could go with soft drugs or hard drugs. And I tried to give this lesson before, and enough people jump on my back. SouFLo top talk foolishness, cause ganja never make nobody do nothing yet. Me see a man lick ganja while a man run up. You don't know how coconut trees stay, right? I see a man lick a lick a chalice one day, and the man run up the coconut tree like any skill monkey. Coconut tree don't have no limit, no, my friend. And this is a tree that extends long, you know. And I don't know how him reach up in at the top. And me and my grandmother was walking past. And me hear my grandmother say something like, Paul, the ganja fly up in your head. Come down out that tree. It's not for everybody. But for some reason, a large population of people think that it's for them. And there's another thing about ganja that enough people don't know. The herb is powerful, and there are different strains to herb. You know, the indica versus the sativa and these kind of things, and you have to know the balance and know what might set you off and all these other. For instance, if you're already a person who is slow moving and have a depressive kind of um pre-existing personality type, you go hit some indica, that's a downer, a serious downer. But me not give that lesson there this morning. I'm just saying. And then them a mix that with boom and rum and this and that, so the consumption off, and then people depressed. People depressed cause life I get harder. This are real stuff, you know. Life is getting harder. Opportunities are becoming more and more limited. When a man look pan where him have to go do now, slave out himself for the day, to make less than what he can friggin' do dinner for. Like, and you're like, man, the whole time I stay in a school and be myself and at this, you know, there's so many things that factor into, and it's not excuses, it's reality, you know. I don't know if there I don't know if there needs to be more community centers. I don't know if mental health in Jamaica, like, them need to go mobile, like send mobile units around the island into different communities where them pull up and do a check and ask the residents, do y'all have anybody around here that's on feel like some might be off of them thing and they're acting out of character and could be a danger, and then find that person there and start tracking them and all these kind of things. You know, I don't know if that could be a solution to it. I like to suggest solutions that I think are workable and not just chat about the problem. Because we now try to sensationalize the thing. It's sad. It's sad. And it's not the first time it happened. It's not the second time it happened. It's not the third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th time it happened. It happens, and keeps on happening. So we have to start looking at how we can stop this from happening. Me no one day Jamaica chill out and some man just run up and chop up on a my picnic them. I really think that anything that happens to other people could possibly happen to me as well. You understand? So I'm looking at it from a first person's perspective. I'm looking at it from a parent's point of view, watching somebody chop up 3-year old and you can't do nothing about it, and you are run to try to do something about it, and you are get chopped up too. And you survive, but your picnic dead. Like this, and nothing about this is funny. This is serious. This calls for serious concern. This calls for emergency action. She said she remember Asher the little man as being happy and always playing with his bigger brother's bicycle. She called the authorities to address the situation because the citizens in the community are living in fear. And now, because they have others in the community who is like him, I bet you everybody know really paro, because they don't know when the next one is gonna actually go way off. They gave this one a blight and think, oh, I just Mass Johnson, man. Yeah, and come back from firing, him little bit chip off in our head, but him not bother nobody. Yeah, him not bother nobody till today when him choose to kill somebody. Which one of the other one them are gonna do it next? Boy, I tell you, see, it's not safe for our kids. And that is what is wrecking everybody right now. And I can't even call my mother because as soon as I call her, she just start crying and going on because she thinking about the grandkids and the babies. Right now, I had a gate designed and I'm changing it to a bigger, higher gate. People are gate up them property. People are what we call it again, burglar bar up them window, burglar bar up them doors. That's like living in a prison, isn't it? One angry resident who gave his name as Jono said that the attacker should get the death penalty if he's convicted. Anybody who kill Picnic forget the guillotine or the rope. No question asked. Him can't do this and then just get to us because he mentally challenged. Me not believe in that. If them can't find somewhere to put them need to get rid of them. So if them can't find an institution to put them in a, dash them where. I could have my youth, he said. I could have my youth that I come from school. And if you're a parent, you understand how I feel right now. Them need to do something about them. However, members of parliament for St. Mary Central, Dr. Maurice Guy, believes that steps should be taken to have mentally challenged people reintegrated into society. He said that residents can play a part also. Part of it has to be a community effort in ensuring that they get their treatment. The whole aspect of mental health in this country is not to confine them to institutions such as Bellevue. It is now a community effort and to reintegrate them back into society, he said. Listen, you can't be reintegrating nobody into no society, man, if they're not fit enough mentally to live in the society and they're a danger to other people and children in the society. You have to take them people that out of the society first, go get them proper treatment, put them on a regiment, keep them somewhere in a controlled environment where you can monitor them and know so what you're doing with them is working. Then you have to teach them skills, life lessons like behavioral management skills and how to recognize their triggers and signs and put them on medication management is a big thing, you know. Because when somebody is mentally ill, when them chip off, them don't remember medication, you know. They don't remember no damn medication. When they chip off, them just chip off. But you have people who have been in these environments that I speak of, these controlled environments, long enough hold them there intensely, like intense therapy, to the point where they know when they get out, you'd be surprised. You speak to some people and they're like, yeah, I'm diagnosed schizophrenic and blah, blah, blah. And I know when it's coming on and I know where my triggers are. And I, you know, those are the people you try to start integrating back into society. Man, we need a whole lot of education on this. Um, to little Asher, to his family, his surviving family members and friends, my sincere condolences. This one hit hard. As a parent, this one hit super hard. I feel like me even do want to cry because God know. Um, if you just think about like, I'm thinking about the level of panic his mom must have felt and the level of despair and helplessness she must have felt just seeing this and couldn't save him. She couldn't save him. We need to do better. Yes, it could be a community effort, but this is beyond community effort first, and then community can get on board later. Live on the air with SouFLo. Good morning.
Good good morning, SouFLo.
Good morning, family. How you doing?
Not too bad. It was just on the mental health
Mm-hmm.
aspect of this thing. Jamaica's a long way from helping themselves. Mental health is something that I know about, and
Mm.
it's I looked after my uncle for 30 years with mental health,
Mm-hmm.
and he was hard to handle. And this is somebody I grew up with, and he was very hard to handle, even with all the medication
Mm-hmm.
facilities in place. We couldn't help him. Couldn't help him. When he went into his dark days, he didn't even know you. He said, "Who are you? I want to kill you."
Mm.
They said they need to lock them up, lock them in, a compound to lock them in,
Right.
not just have them roaming the street. And community in Jamaica is not like old time.
Right.
Nobody don't care. Nobody these years.
I
So
see. I see. Kaz
when
Robinson saying that
when
too, and it's true. It's true. Very
When
true.
when government they're talking about community helping, them all right. There's a lot facility. They're behind their big toll gate,
True.
and it ain't worrying them. But poor people, it will worry poor people. And by
Yeah.
the way, this Kaz Robinson you're speaking to,
Kaz, so you big up yourself, Kaz. I'm like, I see Kaz Robinson saying the same thing too. She's like, by the way, this Kaz Robinson is speaking to. Big up yourself, Kaz, and thanks for calling in. But you're absolutely on point. Yeah.
yeah.
It ain't like
Oh,
it. Yeah, the community ain't like it used to be, and when people used to look out for and take care of and all that, and
no, far from it.
far
Far
from
from
it,
it.
my friend. Yes.
Far
Ah,
from it. Big up yourself, SouFlo.
manners and respect, family. I appreciate you
All
greatly.
right.
One love.
You too. All right. Bye for now.
Bye bye. Live on the air with SouFlo. Good morning.
SouFlo, good morning.
Good morning, family. How you doing?
Yeah, I listen here every morning, but I choose to call this morning. Did you check that guy criminal record in America? It's a lengthy criminal record. He been doing this for a long time.
Which one?
For
The
a
one,
long
the
time.
one that just got
The guy-
arrested. The one that just killed the little
Yeah.
boy.
Yes, go check him criminal record.
Wow.
He attacked somebody in Springfield. The
Mhm.
man was in the Subway restaurant with his son and talking about the menu with his son, and the guy just come in there and just say, "Why you talking to the child like that?" And the man was like, "What?" And the man don't pay him no mind. And by the man look, he just get the man, bust him in the head, and just give him a chokehold, and the man have to bite him. And then when he got to court, they say he was mentally and spent like 17 years in jail. And him have a lengthy criminal record, attacking people, stabbing up people, chopping up people, right here in the United States in New York.
So deport them.
So I just
Deport
wanna
him.
tell you, yes, him just go to Jamaica maybe about 3 months,
See?
4 months now.
Oh man. All right, my brother.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll definitely
Yeah,
go
but
look into that.
Yeah, I know you always do your research. I'm gonna be like, SouFlo, when you never did that research, I was like,
Yeah, but
Wait,
that's why we are
yeah.
here as a family, because you put me on to that. Most of the time,
Yeah.
I'm led by my audience to go and do deeper research on certain things. So thank you for pointing that out, and I definitely will.
yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't even listen. I was like skipping over it every time I hear it. I'd be like, where do we go from here? Because this man been doing this so long and there's not much they can do. You know? So do the research, pull up in name, New York, you will see it. All right, good to hear from you.
All right,
Do
my
your
brother.
thing.
Thank you. I
Bless up.
appreciate you.
Yeah. all
Bless
right.
up.
Yeah.
See, that's why I love my audience. And this is exactly the reason why I didn't want to create a platform where we're just the foolishness and friggery, right? See, this is how I get put on to a lot of information, right? And then me start doing my research because I didn't know where to look. Because in Jamaica, they never give you the full 100. I just read out a long article which you can go read for yourself. And I'll tell you, it was printed in the Observer. The headline says, "Allah, Allah, I need to kill this man. Wounded man recounts horrific attack that left 3-year-old dead, 5 injured." And this was printed May 31st, 2024. That's this morning. So there's nothing about the person background. And I'm here reading the story, but I'm thinking him just come from foreign, come live with him father. So automatically my mind is going off of, is he deported? Was he one of the people like the one in the documentary I just told you about? And it turns out, as this person is saying, no, that's exactly what it is. You see, man, listen, I'll go do my research though before I even speak any further on this topic. But y'all get the feeling. You guys get the feeling of what I'm saying about this. My heart breaks for this little boy. That's the end of his life. That's it. Him get him like a couple of years per earth and gone like that. Oh man, one of them things, one of them things you can't control and you can't change. It's just now is what it is. But we have to put something in place to make sure this not happen again. Now y'all see how important it is. Back to what I said, man. I think I was called to do this. I swear to God. Back to what I said. Y'all go look at other videos I've done in the past where I said if you're being deported from overseas, Jamaica needs to have a system set up in place. I even suggested a building, and I said the building should have multiple floors. And like top floor would have high risk individual, middle floor would have people who are mid-level risk. But like, you know, you overstayed, but you committing minor crimes type stuff, and you've been away too long from Jamaica, so you no longer understand how it works. So they're going to reintegrate you slowly back into the system, then let you out into society. And then the first floor would be like the people them would just a pass through. Yo, me left last year. You know, December me left, them catch me March. Me that try do a thing, but it never work out. You know, ICE hold me, send me back, make him go on. Me never commit no crime or nothing. I just run off into the people in place. I was looking for better. Different levels to it. The ones at the top floor, serious mental health issues, serious health issues. Them have diseases, other kind of something. Keep them up there, so, and figure out a tracking system. How you're able to track them through the island. Where are they going to go from here? How are they going to get help from here? Because a person that is that seriously mentally disturbed is going to need lifelong help. And on just drop them in a Jamaica so on the people them so. Eh? Them just carry them, come drop them pound we so. Come on, man. But this it right here. And that's another reason why England, I was saying about the UK, where they're grabbing people who came to the UK at 2 and 3 years old. This person is 33 years old and you're deporting him back to Jamaica. That man they left as a baby. 2, didn't even know where the hell he was going. Just a human being that's tiny baby, 2-year-old. He's 33. He ain't never been to Jamaica, not from a vacation, not nothing. And now him do a crime, and you are going to take him out of your prison system and just send him come right back to Jamaica, come drop him pound whistle. He's not Jamaican. He's Jamaican by birth, but he ain't damn Jamaican. What we supposed to do with him? Him English accent thick. He don't know nobody here. Him granny dead and gone, and all the rest of him other family members scattered. What we supposed to do with him? I don't remember the other one who chop up him sister. She took her brother back after how many years? And he was having mental issues as well. These are some of the stories we've covered over the past, man. So this is a serious issue. This is a serious issue that needs emergency attention. I don't know what we are going to do, how we move forward from this, but this can't continue. Because Robinson says they cannot accepting these people back in Jamaica once they have lived a certain amount of time in the USA, UK, Canada, etc. And it should be their problem, and it should be their problem. The little boardhouse he used to live in is no longer there, Pussy Galore said. Why? Here, yeah, man. We're gonna move on with the topic still, you know, because this one is like it could take up the whole morning. We're gonna move on with the topic, and again, my sincere condolences goes out, and I know condolences can't comfort nobody in times like this. I would be distraught as a parent. Condolence couldn't do nothing to me, but I still send out my condolences. I hope somebody who's in a position of power to make some kind of change actually sees this discussion we're having this morning and start somewhere. Oh, man. Anyhow, man, you know, enough time when we do these kind of topics, it's so hard to move on to something else. It consumes my spirit, you know. But we are gonna move on. Let's use the icebreaker or the segue to talk about something less important to us, but nonetheless of importance. Take a phone call real quick. Live on the air with SouFLo. Good morning.
Hi, good morning, SouFLo. How are you?
I'm doing fine, family. How you doing?
I'm good. I don't know if you're still on the topic, but I wanted to know if the government can be held responsible for what happened to that little boy.
You know, that's Jamaica for you. Let me answer you straightforward. That's Jamaica for you. There's no accountability in government. There's no accountability at the higher level. So my guess would be no. No. I mean, if a mentally,
This is
if
very sad and unfortunate because they should be, because the gentleman that called in and said this guy had a long
history of
criminal
doing the same
history.
thing in the US, and then he was deported into Jamaica and they accepted him and threw him, let him loose on the public like that. Yeah,
Right.
right.
Based on what you're saying, also, these people, when they come into the country, there should be some documentation on why they were deported, at
Yes.
least to track them or to keep. I don't know. There's so much slackness going on in Jamaica, and it's very sad. It's very sad because I want to eventually return and to live peacefully. And all of this that's happening, it's very scary for me
Mm-hmm.
to go back and feel comfortable and safe.
Mm-hmm. You know what's you know what's crazy is if you're living around it, well, all the issues now. If you're living around all the issues that are plaguing beautiful Jamaica as a whole, if you're living in it, you really don't see it or feel it. I'm telling you, when I'm there, all the issues I speak about, point out, people refer to me, etc. It's a breeze. I don't feel it. I don't see it. But then when I'm on the outside looking in, it is all so transparent. So I don't know if the people have become like null and like numb to all these issues, and it's like this are just regular life, you know, a sotingo, moving right along kind of thing.
Very numb, and that's sad for all that's living there and who wants to go back there. And also, you and Cash brought up the whole facility. Like, have a facility where these people can be locked in and monitored, whether medically or some treatment for these people, because mental illness is real. It's real.
Everybody
It's
that
affecting
is
so many people here in the U.S. And it's not like it's a strange thing,
yeah,
and people need to take it more seriously. A lot of people don't believe in mental illness, especially in Jamaica.
right,
They don't,
right,
and they need to take this serious. The government needs to look into to ways of helping these people.
right. But
This is very unfortunate that happened to a baby. My son is 3 years old.
he's your son's age.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah,
this is terrible. But
heavy.
anyway, have a wonderful day and enjoy listening to your program.
All right, you
Thank
have
you
a
so
good one.
much.
Yes. All right. Look, we're gonna switch the topic, right? Uh there's so many constructive comments in this comment section. Empress Stephanie says, my brother has mental illness. He locked my mom in the house for 3 weeks and had a cutlass at her, threatening to chop off her head or chop her head off. Mental health issues, real, super real, and it can't happen to anybody, you know. It can't happen to anybody. Live on the air with SouFLo. Good morning,
Grand Rising, SouFLo.
Grand Rising family. How
I
you
know, I
doing?
know you're getting ready to
Change the
change the
topic.
topic,
Right.
but my question is how long is this going to continue to happen before they implement some type of counseling in Jamaica that can help people? I know in the United States, when things like this happen in a community, especially with a child or if it happens at a school, the first thing they do is they do a press conference live and they let you know the locations and places you can go to get counseling, because it's very traumatic for the people in the community to actually experience and see that.
Right.
And that can seeing something like that happen to a child and their family,
Right.
it can trigger them into becoming mentally unstable themselves.
Absolutely.
And so
Absolutely.
the cycle continues because the community is traumatized, and there is no help. And these things continue and they keep repeating, seeing these traumas over and over and over. And it's just
Mhm.
an endless cycle.
Yep. I don't know. I don't know how. Like I said before, I don't know when or how we're going to move forward in a better, like more positive manner, get stuff done that to make sure this doesn't continue to happen the way that it has been. But this is going to take not just me and you, but people in positions of power who actually really want to make change to step forward, put some things in place, and then the community will join in. Honestly speaking, a community is powerless, really, in a situation like this. What can they do? Nothing.
Yeah.
Most of the people in the community are uneducated about mental health issues, anyways, right?
So
And
I think this is where the government should step in before these people
go
even
mobile,
even
go.
once they leave the plane, once they land in
Hmm.
Jamaica, there should be some kind of facility or something where they go and get evaluated before
Right.
they are let out into the society.
This is what I've been saying. This is what I've been saying. I said everybody who is getting deported, and my same Jamaican people cuss me out. Hey boy, suck out about this and that about man done get deported already. Where you want us to be hold up for more longer? Free up the people, them. The same people I'm trying to advocate for. I'm not saying hold everybody, but I think everybody who's going through the deportation process should be processed back in. Some people are going to be processed in at a slower rate than others because they need more assistance, more
Or
attention
a
than
system.
others.
Yeah.
Right. That system should be put in place and they don't have it.
Wow.
Yeah.
I feel for that family right now. But anyway, big up yourself and the SouFlo family. Big up your wife and everybody in the chat. This is Marie's message 411 TV. Hi everybody.
Murray's message 411 TV, big up yourself. And I was just telling
Have
everybody
a
that, hold up, I was just telling everybody that they can go over to your channel and actually go through your material because it might help somebody who to deal with their own traumas and their
yes,
own
because
healing
what you're
journey.
talking, the subject you're talking about right now is a lot of what I talk about on my channel about
Right,
mental illness and different mental issues that people experience,
right,
even in relationships. It's deep. It goes deep. It's a spiritual. It's a channel that deals with spirituality and all type of mental illnesses that happen that causes relationships not to work out. And yeah, it goes deep. Yeah.
yes, yes. And I appreciate you greatly. Thank you for being here.
You're welcome, and I'll continue to watch. Have a great day
You
and have
too
a
now.
great weekend.
You too. Yeah, her story is something else. I'm telling you, go over her channel if you don't know about her already and check out her material. But yeah, let's do the breaker and go into something else, right? Let's do the breaker and go into something else. Here's what you should know about Donald Trump's conviction in his hush money trial. We're not gonna spend too long on this. We're gonna get to LA Lewis and then the Vybz Cartel thing. So Donald Trump's conviction. He's been convicted, found guilty and convicted on 34 felony counts. And this marks the end of the former president's historic hush money trial. But the fight over the case is far from over. This is what they want you to know. Now comes the sentencing phase. Is Donald Trump going to prison? And the potential for a prison sentence. This is where they're at now. A lengthy appellate process, and all the while, the presumptive Republican presidential nominee still has to deal with three more criminal cases and a campaign that could actually see him return to the White House as the next president of the United States of America. You know, what's funny is there are a lot of Jamaican people right now, Caribbean people, period, right now that are like, I'm voting for Donald Trump. I don't give a damn what they say. And it's funny because when you look back they would never be so forgiving to somebody who is their own kind, no matter what greatness they've done. I seen a lot of y'all came on about Buja Banton. Oh, cokehead. Oh, Buja probably still selling coke for the feds. That's why they allow him to go back into the US. I just can't respect somebody who ever dealt with coke in their life. And I'm like, whoa, you must have been born perfect and you must have lived an entire perfect existence. A lot of people love to live in other people's past, but they hate when you bring up their past. I'm not that person anymore. I've changed. I'm not like that. That was me 10 years ago, 20 years ago. That's what I did when I was 19 and 20. Get over it. I'm 45 and I'm 50 now. Why don't you apply the same grace to your own kind? I want you to think about this. If Obama or any person of color who was a presidential nominee had a conviction on 34 felonies, would they still be allowed to run for president of the United States of America? As far as I've heard, if you have a felony, you can't even vote for who becomes the next president of the United States of America. You heard what I just said? As far as I know, if you have a felony on your record, you can't even vote for the next president of the United States of America. So how the hell? You got 34 felonies. They're still pushing you. In my two more cases for going on. And in the two more case, there's going to be guilt. Watch and see. But they're still pushing a campaign for you to be president of the United States of America. And then you have people who are less privileged, knowing that that would never be extended to a person of your kind, but you support that. Hey, King Big says you can vote and you can own a gun. Or you no, King Biggs, you cannot vote and you cannot own a gun. You can. They take away your right to defend yourself by bearing arms. They take away your right to a conversation as to who becomes the next leader of your country. They take away your right to proper employment because everywhere you go, it's on a job application. Have you ever been convicted of a crime before? Have you ever done time in any penal system or facility, etc.? Every employee is asking. So how this a go work? So Trump came out and he says the trial is a disgrace. I'm an innocent man. He probably ran off on a private jet right after they found him guilty. Whereas me and you, right after they found us guilty, they would either A, give us a date to report, or B, take you into custody right then. That's that. I want my people to understand what it is that they are empowering. And just hearing President, or yes, he was President Trump, say he's going to give immunity to law enforcement, police officers. Now, I'm a big police officer supporter, believe it or not, right? Contrary to what some people might think, I even donate to the fund that supports their fallen police officers, and they're sending their children to school and all these other kind of things, right? And I love their service, especially in the state that I live in the city that I live in. I'm super safe here. Like literally couldn't remember my password for my alarm at my house, and them they were standing behind me like in no time, because the house alarm is hooked up to a company that is hooked up to the police station, and the house alarm speaks loud. You have 10 seconds to enter that code. If you don't, we will be notifying your local police department. Boo, woo, 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 woo. Police come in no time. A pin drop around here, they're here in no time. I appreciate all that. And I'm not going to act like they don't do what need to be done to keep us safe, but giving them total immunity, that means when your uncle, brother, father, sister, Sandra Bland, cousin, family member is stopped for a traffic violation, say the left blinker on the car went out, and that's the reason why I'm pulling you over. And then it escalates to where your family member is shot multiple times and there's no gun in the car and they weren't a threat because they were locked in a car and a police officer was free outside holding a gun. They'll be able to go to court. They won't be prosecuted, period, because they have immunity. So there'll be no case. Yet I still see the people who are at a disadvantage when stuff like this happens. I'm voting for Trump no matter what. I don't give a damn what they say. Sometimes, I think we really are our worst enemy. Sometimes I really think that we are the biggest part of our downfall or the biggest part of our stagnation. Y'all be careful what it is you're empowering. But hey, I'm not going to beat that no more. I think I said enough right there. I just want y'all to know that he was found guilty and they might try to minimalize his felonies by calling them soft felonies or E-class felonies and less felonious than other felonies. But hear what? A felony is a felony. A misdemeanor is a misdemeanor. A sin is a sin. Need I say more? Right. Let's take one phone call and then we go into LA Lewis. Live on the air with SouFLo. Good morning.
Good morning, SouFLo. My sincere apologies for not calling you earlier.
No problem, brother. You're loud and clear, so go ahead.
Firstly, I am a neutral arbiter in all of these issues, but I'd like to talk about them individually. Is that possible?
Yeah, but don't go too long though. I'm gonna give you a 5-minute block.
All right, 5 minutes. Cool. Firstly, the Trump case. I'd like to thank the Democratic Party for what they have just done for Trump in this election. Thank you very much, Democrats, for making Trump the next president of the United States. Thank you very much. A round of applause.
How did they do that?
The reason being, you had 9+ years to bring this case to the courts. You waited till this appointed time. You put 34 different felonies, and the judge in this case said that you do not have to come to a consensus on an individual felony, but you have to spread it out to find him guilty. The witnesses in this case themselves was very, very shady. His former lawyer that was disbarred was a witness. The witnesses in his defense was not allowed to come to court. The judge himself is a democratically appointed judge with leanings towards the Democratic Party, showing his bias. He is the judge that has been appointed in every case that you've brought against this man in the state of New York. That is bias to the highest score. You have this court case in New York that you know that is going to be biased against this man. That is not a fair trial. I understand that you don't like that, people do not like the man. But if it is so blatantly obvious that your case is biased, what do you expect the normal population to think? That is the biggest problem that I'm seeing with this case, and it's going to affect them. The 34 charges is 34 more reasons why persons are going to vote for him. Thank you very much, Democrats. You have played yourself. They've been realizing that every time they brought a case against this man, his approval numbers increase because the normal population is seeing that they are fabricating stuff against him. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I hear you loud and clear. I understand exactly what you're saying. I don't agree, but I understand. Let me ask you this before you go any further,
Yes.
because you have 3 minutes left. Are you a
Yes.
Trump supporter?
No, I'm not a Trump supporter. I support policies and what I am seeing.
Okay, so brother, let me put it like this then. Let me put it like this then. We have to vote today.
Yeah.
We have to vote today for who becomes the next president. Are you voting Democrat or Republican?
I am voting Republican.
There you go. So you're a Trump supporter. Okay.
I've lived through Obama, I've lived through Trump, and I've lived through Biden.
Uh-huh.
If you use evidence or what has been presented, you cannot, with an open mind or with a clear thought, says that he was not the better of the three. The economy was doing better, fuel prices was better, everything was better underneath his governance. He may not be respected. I understand that 110%. He may not be respected, but when it comes on to us as the normal populace of the country, we were doing better under him than under Biden. Down to the tail end with COVID, I understand that, and because of his mannerisms, I understand that. But if you put policies to policy, country under him or country to Biden, which one would you as an individual prefer?
You have 2 minutes.
Yes. That's my point. I would vote for him.
Right. And I could tell that from the very first time you started speaking, that's what it would be.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So
but
you came on saying
you
came on saying you are neutral, but you weren't neutral.
Yes.
You're actually a Trump supporter that's bringing across. You are.
I'm not a Trump supporter or a Biden supporter. I use evidence to make my points.
Okay, my brother, and I understand that. I understand that, and your evidence that you have shows you that you should support Trump, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, at this present time, yes.
Yes, so you're a Trump supporter at this point in time, right? That's that. I mean, it's.
Yes.
I don't have anything against who wants to support.
Yes.
I don't have anything against who wants to support whoever. I always tell my audience this. I don't tell them go Democrat or Republican. I point things out that might affect us as a people negatively, and then I ask them, be careful what you are empowering. That's it.
I agree. Right. I agree 100%. But like what I said, when I sit down and I look at everything that is going on in the country, I'm sorry.
1 minute.
I have to vote for him. I can't do the dumb shit.
All right, my brother. Well, happy voting, and I hope that's your next president for real for you.
Yeah, man, without a shadow of a doubt. If he loses, I would be very surprised based on the numbers. But if
you there? Hello? Hello? I think his phone cut off, but it looks like let's see. Live on the air with SouFLo. Good morning.
Hello, good morning, doctor.
Good morning, family. How you doing this morning?
Good.
I think the caller's phone cut off, but I think you know where he was going. His 5 minutes were up anyways. You have a lot to say this morning, caller?
Yeah, I got something.
Okay, I'm giving you a solid 5 minutes. I'm giving you a solid 5 minutes as well. Your 5 minutes starts now.
Yeah, I got something to say about Vybz Kartel case.
Okay.
Yeah.
So go ahead now.
Yeah, I have to say, when I watch this case, I see that a lot of people admire Vybz Kartel. You see? And
Caller, you have us on speaker or something? Cause your 5 minutes are running out and you're not using it up properly, you know.
Yeah. SouFLoTV.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I got a lot to say. I see a lot of people fight my Vybz Kartel, and the people them now understand that the two governments suffer them for 60 years. And Kartel, them 8 Kartel and Kartel set a pattern for in kids. and make a better life in kids. And people in Jamaica, bad mind cartel. And then bad mind the government who suffer them for 60 years, two partners.
Mm-hmm.
Who set wrong policy,
Mm-hmm.
who make their life suffer and everything.
I agree.
And then cartel set policy to make same kids' life better. And then when they hear a lot of people, cartels to go to prison. And then do not say, them lock up the two parties them who suffer them life the 60 years and have them in our system what do not make no policy to make them generation kids better. But cartel make policy to make him kids life better and grandkids life better. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely, I agree. I said this before, my brother. You're right on point. I said this before too. I said that in the grand scheme of things, right, we all live and we all die. What you do in the process between birth and death, that time given, everybody have them little time. What you do with that time is what's going to count. Some people will be forgotten forever. Some people will be remembered forever. Vybz Kartel is one of the people who has solidified his space in history, though it be through music, entertainment, entrepreneurship, etc., and creating generational wealth for his offsprings. Anybody born with a Palmer name that after this that come through his bloodline, they won't have to be no slave to nobody's 9 to 5. They won't have to be working for anybody or anything like that. I think he understands what life is about and what you're here to do. At the same thing, Andrew Holness do. He's going to make sure that his bloodline is good. It's the same thing Mark Golding is doing. It's the same thing all the other people who wear a suit and a tie and speak eloquently are doing. Cartel, I get to you to do the same thing. But he's going to get a fight. And I also believe that this whole case that they're dragging is not about justice. It's about something else. But I'm going to speak about that when we get to the cartel part. Because right now, we have finished up the Trump part and we are getting to the LA Lewis part. But you're absolutely on point. You have 1 minute left.
I'm just saying something. If you look at it over the years, 60 years, we suffer on a labor right and PMP.
Yeah. Two parties, same thing.
PMP and labor right, the biggest crime in Jamaica. They make people life suffering and everything. But don't see the people them hold them accountable. And care them, go lock them up. Cartel be telling a prison.
But I understand exactly what you're saying. I understand exactly. The man
I don't see the people them hold PMP and labor
right.
In their life, like how the man say cartel be telling a prison. And
right.
Cartel set policy to make same people life better. And PMP and labor right, treat the people them.
Saying.
And do not do anything, don't suffer the people them every time.
Saying.
So yes, if you notice, nobody, you can check it, nobody can have a compatible life like Jamaica. They can normal have a compatible life like Jamaica. Yeah. And then do everything and just go in thief, and then yeah, and the people them so stupid. They just run back at the two parties and they see same thing.
Absolutely agree, my brother.
Yeah.
Not disrespect and call the people them stupid, but they do things that make them seem like they're stupid. Yeah. But it's a conditioning and programming. It's a conditioning and programming. But I got it. And your 5 minutes is officially up at this moment. I appreciate you. Manners and respect here, sir. All right. All right. So here what we're going to do right now. Right now, we're going to hold off on the phone calls and we're going to get into the LA Lewis segment. We've said enough about Donald Trump. Let's close off the Donald Trump part by saying this. This is exactly what I was speaking to you guys about. You remember when we just said? I said there are Jamaicans and Caribbean people who are bent on voting for Donald Trump. Them come here as immigrant, them end up get them blue book. Now they're citizens and they are very much a supporter of Donald Trump. And they are one of the ones who, no matter what he does, they're going to support him regardless. I don't turn this into a political platform where I tell people who to vote for. I just point certain things out that I think should be of great interest to you. If a policy, if my choice is, a policy is put in place where no police officer is held accountable for anybody that he shoots on the job versus a higher gas price and higher food price. Here what? Give me the higher gas price and higher food price, okay? Because me no want that happen to my family members and then there is no recourse and no repercussion and nothing else happen after that. They're just out here wielding their guns and badges and operating with impunity or with no checks and balances. That you have support? Because you know the victims are usually the dynamic never change. It's somebody will look just like you all the time. Right? So if that you are gonna put over food price and gas price, nah, I'll take some expensive gas. Okay. So that's all I do with this, right? But yeah, we're out here, man. They are out here, and y'all got to see it for yourself. And I thank that brother for calling in because we all knew from the minute he started speaking exactly who he was, what he was trying to say, and what he supports. Right? Right. Moving right along though. L.A. Lewis. Let me just say a couple of things about L.A. Lewis. Watch this now. L.A. Lewis, me and L.A. Lewis have had our banter, just like me and quite a few people have had our banters in the past. You know, rest in peace, Gully Bop. He was one of them. Got climb up a tall ladder, some thought off in your mama, is what Gully Bop said about me. And he made a couple of other videos about me. And we went back and forth, but it was no hard feelings on my end. Same thing for L.A. Lewis. You know, we had a banter. It was no hard feelings on my end either. If you look up on YouTube, you see, I love this. I love this because the videos are still there and they can't, I'm gonna take them down and I can't go change what was said in them. Go and look. Just type in a thin line between genius and insanity. SouFLoTV, LA Lewis. Type that into Google or into YouTube and look and watch the videos come up, right? You might even see the video where LA Lewis did I talk about my mouth and all these other kind of, his mouth always oily and his lip always look like this. So I made a video to combat that saying, any man will watch man mouth that close. Yo, that's weird vibes, bro. People listen to what I say, but you sit and study my mouth and how the mouth moves and all this other stuff. So it was a funny thing, right? Back and forth. Let me tell you something about L.A. Lewis, right? I said it before, I'm going to say it again. A thin line between genius and insanity. I've seen it over the years. When L.A. Lewis was dusty, as they call it, right? And L.A. Lewis was spraying up his L.A. Lewis graffiti all over Jamaica. And them say, who the mad boy? And he was saying off the wall stuff and all that. That's the part of his genius, that his self-promotion that makes him who he is today. If you fast forward, if you rewind back to a couple of years ago, I'm mad smarty that in a SouFLo. Yo, that youth that need for their Bellevue, you know. Yo, me not think him head too right, you know. These were all the comments about L.A. Lewis. If you fast forward now to today, Gleaner, Star, Observer, Loop, News, all the major news houses out of Jamaica, you know, see them journalists pull up with microphone in front of who? In front of the madman, in front of the guy who y'all say is a crazy person. And I told you back then, I said nothing wrong with LA, you know. LA is a marketing genius. He's figured out how to remain relevant. He's figured out how to create a platform for himself. He's figured out how to self-promote, and he's figured out how to stay in the talk constantly. And eventually that's going to translate into notoriety, and eventually it's going to translate into dollars and cents, right? Now, it's funny to look now today and to see the madman, the same people them we used to say a mad somebody that you know need for their Bellevue is the same people who turn around today and talk about 7. Big up yourself, my 7-star general. Big up the emperor. You understand? What does that say to me and you? It says to me and you that resiliency is what's needed to survive and to make it. Not just there for just exist. You come to live. You have to embrace your individuality. L.A. Lewis embraced his individuality. No matter who did a laugh about him, He stuck to his thing, knew what he was, who he was, and look at him today. When the emperor step out today and I'm all white here, everybody know, Lord, where him get them shoes they from. But one thing about LA, him whites them always whites, extra white, and him always in a white. Say more praises than curse now. Huh? So first they fight you, first they laugh at you, first they make fun about what it is you came to do and is trying to do. I'm telling you this before, nobody fight you down more than your own people when you're trying to accomplish something. Nobody fight you down more than your own people when you're trying to accomplish something. You know, say you're mad. You know, say that nah gonna work. What am I chat about? Yo, that you and have no sense, Yo, dog. Call you all kind of names, right? Then when you start to make it, watch how their speech change. A long time I rate you, Big up yourself, man. What you say? Seven-star general. Yeah, man, I hit that. This right there. Big up yourself, Emperor. Big up yourself, Now the comments are like, rotted, but me didn't think so L.A. Lewis did slow. I me didn't think so L.A. Lewis did a mad smaddy. See a whole heap of sense L.A. Lewis attack. See a whole, see? You see how the tide change. Y'all don't see how the tide change? A lesson is to be learned in that. And I just figured that, I need to say this that I'm saying right now. So with that said, may I give a man him accolades while he is still around. You understand? He made himself relevant. He made himself a part of Jamaican culture. He made himself a staple within our culture. It takes a lot of work, ingenuity, and intelligence to build a brand that people resonate with, to build a brand that survives over time and continues to get better and better. And this is a perfect example of the madman who everybody thought was a madman that is now considered to be the seven-star general and the emperor. Me I go left that one there right there, so watch how you look upon people and what they trying to do when time it's not what you think they should be trying to do. All of us came here with our own thing that we came to do, and we are all individuals. I don't know why them have us in this big experiment. I try to tell everybody, say we must all dress alike and look alike and sound alike, and if we're not doing the same things everybody else is doing, then something wrong with that one day, kind of something. And them the kind of people me actually like, the one them will step out of the box and create a box for or create a avenue for themselves to run free inner. That's L.A. Lewis. Lulu Ridges says, I still think he's slow. No, Lulu. Trust me, there's a method to his madness. That man, they're not slow. And I've been saying this from way back when. Now, Veronica Gale says something as Amari. I've told you that before about Amari, right? If you can remember. See, one thing about me, and let me close off this segment, then we're going to talk about the Vybz Kartel thing. One thing about me is this. And I'm going to use a word that you probably consider a curse word, but it's not really, because we all do. I never talk shit about people, and then when me see them, me have to change up my talk. You understand? Never. That way, the same energy I have here, behind this camera, behind this microphone, is the same energy I have in front of you when I see you in person. You see what I'm saying? A lot of people talk shit about people, and then when they see the people in person, you have to reduce yourself to acting like a fan of somebody that you spend so much time talking so much shit about. I've never been that kind of person, ever. So, if you go back and look on my videos, yes, I saw mad something I'm just saying on all these things, but I always put sense to the nonsense. You see what I'm saying? And I thought it was fitting this morning to bring that all the way back around this morning to make a point. All right. King Big says, Aya, you can't tell me he wasn't doing weird things. Aya, LOL. Yes, King Biggs, him did the weird things. He was saying weird things, but that was a part of the promotion. Just like, what's your name there? Amari. They stay in character. And that's what it takes to self-promote and build their brand. A lot of people want their business to be promoted as much as L.A. Lewis promotes himself. Think I lie, me I tell. A lot of people want to be known on social media as much as Amari is known on social media. because it would bring revenues to their business. Think a lie, me I tell. They can't figure out a way to do it. Do I pay somebody to do it? Do I go twerk my booty and pop my coochie on camera? Like, what do I have to do to get it done? They figured it out. They figured it out. May I show you the blueprint right in front of you, you know? People are going to still look around it. No, some think say, man, I think there's something wrong with him. I think say, okay, whatever. Him white's always white. Him not look homeless to me. He always has a vehicle he's driving. No found still a walk foot and I talk about the same person. I'm just trying to tell you, my granny them used to say, me I draw old school now. Miss Ruby and Mas Cleaver right over me there. So my granny them used to say, play a fool for catch wise. Okay. Moving right along. Our last topic for this morning is the Vybz Kartel situation. That's our last topic for this morning. And any phone call that's coming in after this has to be with this topic. All right? So we're going to give this topic here 20 minutes of the morning at the most. Our goal is to be up out of here at 10. Amari, biggest thing right now in her shocking pink jump. Yo, big up to Amari, man. She know what she do. And it's cringy sometimes, and it looks crazy sometimes, but it does what it's supposed to do. You know? Yeah. You're not paying none of them people your bills when them call you and ask you, yo, give me $1 no. My light bill due. Give me $1 no, rent due, mortgage due, this due, car note due, that due. They found a way. They found a way. Somebody says, Sheldon Pinnock says, I believe L.A. Lewis is maturing. He was a mess before. Then no data go on with all of we. That's what's going on with all of us, fam. I'm maturing too. I was a mess before too. That's what's going on with everybody. That's what's supposed to go on with us. We're supposed to be a mess in at the beginning and then mature. When it got backwards or reverse, then it looked like a mess. You understand? You can't be perfect and good in your 20s and then you hit your 30s and you just get worse. And you hit your 40s and it's the worst you ever been. You're supposed to be getting better over time. You're supposed to be fine-tuning what you're doing. Thank you, Kai Tai Jai Empress. It's called growth. Growth and development, maturity. And that's what I say. Lend the same level of grace to others that you lend to yourself. That too. Because this thing I call life, and not just for you, everybody else I live it too. That means that everybody else are going to go through them growth process as well. And I've said this many times before to this audience, we don't all get to a stage of enlightenment and perfection and understanding and all these things all at the same time. Everybody is on different levels going through. Yeah? Going through. A mess, then a messenger, British Jamaican girl says. I like that one. I like that one. A mess, then a mess, a mess, and then a messenger. All right. Let's get into the Vybz Kartel situation now. Vybz Kartel was denied bail yesterday. I like to deal with facts, not fiction. So the first thing we're going to get into is why the bail was denied. Remember I told y'all yesterday, I said, before the verdict even came down, I said, I think I know what this lady is going to do. And I can tell by the tone. The tone. Let me address some people first before I even start. I see a lot of comments. Isaac Buchanan push up him chest too much. And him disrespect the judge by telling the judge about school me. If him did humble himself before the judge, him would have been out already. Maybe if Kartel did humble himself, him would have been out already. I want you to understand that this is not about humbling yourself. I know we have the saying, you know, your hand in a crocodile mouth, take your time, take it out. But this is not about humbling yourself. This is about the law and what is in the law and how the law works. You understand? So I want this message to resonate with you. Some people prefer to not kiss ass and suck hood their whole life. I'm sorry to put it like that, but I had to. Some people prefer to not kiss ass and suck hood their whole life. Some people prefer to not live their life on their knees. You understand? So I looking at this, I was looking back yesterday, and I said to myself, say, this kind of remind me of like in a slavery days. You know, somehow we did a try get off of that damn plantation there, and we had revolts, and we were meeting, and we were whispering, and we were telling stories, and how we are going to escape, and this and that. And then you had another group of us that was the Yassa Massa. They made my people, sir, use my people, massa. I was going to tell you when they going to run, massa. They going to run tonight. Yeah, the big one named SouFLo, sir. Yeah, look at him, sir. He done gave a message to the other one, Blackfoot. They say they going to move tonight when the moon hit the center of the sky, sir. You got to watch them, massa. You my people, massa. I love you, massa. Yeah, we had those. And then we had the one them who we want to be carried out on our shields. We want to be carried out on our shields with our sword in hand. You understand? I know everybody subscribe to the whole, me I go humble myself and act like, that's what humble yourself means, by the way. It means to reduce yourself to presenting yourself as if you are less than, as if you don't matter. That's what humble yourself mean. So anytime people always talk about humble yourself, it always rub me the wrong way. I'm like, do you even know what the word humble yourself means? And then we are grow up and them a talk about humble calf suck much milk or the most milk. Lie. It's a lie. Cause farm me grow up on. And me always say the humble calf a starve. My grandfather have to go make buckle milk and feed that the humble calf because the humble calf can't get no milk. It a suffer. See? But back to this story now though. I want everybody to understand why he got denied bail yesterday. Some people are under the impression that, and these are usually the people who just wish bad, and stay in there, in there for life. This is not the case where the appeal court decides we're going back to trial and he will stay in there forever. That's not the case. This was a bail hearing. That's why his attorney presented habeas corpus, filed it. This was a bail hearing. They were trying to get him out ahead of the privy council, ahead of the appeal court hearing. The appeal court hearing is where they will go starting the 10th of the new month coming, where they will go to make a case. The state will make a case why they think there should be a retrial, and his attorneys will make a case why they think there shouldn't be a retrial, and then the 3-panel judges will decide in their chambers which one is right and which one they're going to go for. Let me be very, very, very clear. This is a concerted effort. This is my opinion. This is a concerted effort to keep them where they are. Vybz Kartel and the rest of his co-accused. And it doesn't matter what law they have to break or what they have to step around to get it done, they are going to get it done. I'll give you an example why I think it's a concerted effort. And why I knew that the woman yesterday, judge, was going to say what she said and deny the bail. Damn, SouFLo, you studied this one, man. How you didn't know already? It wasn't hard. It wasn't hard. There's no way a highly intelligent woman like Paula Llewellyn made a big blunder like that in the beginning at the original trial. When the judge, Paula Llewellyn wasn't the one that was prosecuting the case. There were other prosecutors from the Department of Public Prosecution. Paula Llewellyn said herself she would stop by in court to give them some moral support and strength because she's the big honcho, right? So seeing her there, and they were weighted down heavy under the magnitude of this case. So she would pop in. But in the law, it provides for the judge to call her, the head of the DPP, into his chambers if something like that should happen. So she was called in chambers along with the attorneys that represented the men to say, hey, we have a big breach. There's a tainted juror here. We don't know how long he's been among the jurors. We don't know how many of them he has talked to and gotten to. We don't know how deep this thing goes. What are we supposed to do legally? Do you think we should keep on going with the case, or you think we should stop right here, get a fresh new jury pool, or at least kick out that one juror and then start over again with somebody else? Paula Llewellyn said, she clearly said, I'm ready to proceed forward. As highly learned as she is, you think that was a mistake that she said, I'm ready to proceed forward? As highly learned as the judge is, you think that judge made a mistake by saying, I agree with you, Paula, we're going to move forward? The attorneys that represented the men said, no, we shouldn't move forward. We need to do this by the books, right? Go get one different juror, or find out how deep this goes in the jury pool, how many people is tainted, get new jurors if we have to, start over if we have to. They said, frig it, no, let's go. And that's the first wrong that they did. Concerted effort between the original judge and Paula Llewellyn. Started right there. Then it went to the Court of Appeals. Court of Appeal is a 3-panel judge. So you have 3 judges now, plus the original judge, so 4 judges, and the head of the Department of Public Prosecution. So 5 people now who are going to make another concerted effort to say, no, we're not seeing nothing wrong. Keep them in there. We never do nothing wrong. What I think personally, what they weren't counting on was for it to go all the way to where it went to, and for what was exposed at Privy Council to be exposed at Privy Council. They weren't counting on all that to happen, but it did. It went there. It went the distance. Now, when it got to Privy Council, they all but said, this is a kind of a bit embarrassing. I mean, how did this make it to us? It passed the original judge. It passed the 3-panel judge. No, nobody saw any of this, and they quashed the conviction. Now, one big dummy yesterday called me an idiot and tell me about they did not quash the conviction, they quashed the case. How dumb can you be? And then you are calling me dumb. Quash the conviction. A conviction is quashed, meaning it no longer exists. So, I want you to open your mind and use your intelligence. Me lock up in a prison. Them find me guilty. I appeal to the highest courts. We get to the highest courts. The highest court says you're no longer guilty. You're returned now to being an innocent man once again in the eyes of the law. Right? Right. But the same court that tried you for the same case, they can decide if they want to try you again. Would not that mean that a whole new trial is required to find them guilty again? Walk with me now. Would that not mean that a whole new trial is required to find them guilty again? Okay. So if that's the case, why is he still being kept in where they are being kept in? As if they are guilty still, as if the original guilty verdict stands, as if they are saying, fuck England and Jamaica with it, and we are going to do what we want to do. Quash your mama, you're tanning there. This is a slap in the Privy Council's face. This is like saying, we don't hear you. We do what we want to do in Jamaica. And for the people who are running me down yesterday and talking about, they're charged with murder, and people charged with murder don't get bail. Well, you know me. I go do my due diligence. So see me this morning with my computer. So let me read off some of them for you. Jamaica Gleaner, May 15th, 2024. Wilford Cook, 57 years old. The man that was charged in the female security guard murder is offered bail. Charged with murder, offered bail. Okay? Our next one again. Since you think, okay, that might have been just one SouFLo, they don't do that too often. Here's another one for you. Wanted man on murder charge, April 23rd, St. James. A man charged with murder in 2022, 29-year-old Kamar Wilson in Catherine Hall, St. James, offered bail, denied bail. Music producer on murder charge, granted bail April 16th, 2022. Hudson, popularly known as Goose, was offered bail in the sum of $800,000 and he's supposed to return to court on May 29th. Murder charge. Again, St. James, May 3rd, 2024. St. James double murder accused gets bail. So what the tell me about when you're charged with murder, you don't get bail. They don't give bail to who they don't want to give bail to. There are measures that can be taken place. This is what I was looking to happen yesterday. I was looking for that judge yesterday to exercise some discretion. I was looking for the judge to say, well, you know what? We took this all the way to Privy Council and it gets shut down. The man them thing get quashed, which means null and void. So the conviction, the guilty conviction no longer stands. So they are now again back to being innocent men. And we've had them behind bars on what is seen at the highest court as a faulty, because that's what the highest courts called it. That's why it could not stand. It was not a pure verdict. So it was seen as a faulty verdict. And we've had them behind bars for how many years now? Over a decade on a faulty verdict, meaning we are at fault. We never get it right. Yes, I believe in myself we could have gotten it right, but we make that mistake there. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to release them, right? Trying to make some kind of restitution. We're going to release them just in good faith to the system to show you that we believe in our own system. So release them under these conditions, even though I think Isaac Buchanan had actually requested release with no conditions. The judge could have said, I'm not going to release them, but I'm going to put conditions. Turn over all your travel paper documents. You can't go anywhere. I will put a stop at all ports. That means you can't leave by sea, land, air, none of that, right? And you must report to so-and-so by every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, etc. They could have put all that in place. But to straight up just say, no, denied, I knew it was coming. And it was personal. And it has nothing to do with justice. So for the idiot people, then we keep on talk about, quash doesn't mean that they are innocent now. You're slow. It means that they're back to being innocent again, right? Me soon answer the phone. It means that they're back to being innocent again. See, the judge yesterday could have done exactly what I said. Now, all these names and situations in just this year alone showing you people who are charged with murder getting bail and out on bail. Not accused, charged. Cartel them accused and charged, right? Okay, same thing. No difference. Now, when that judge said, you will be schooled tomorrow, I knew it was on. The judge knew already from the moment she said you will be schooled tomorrow, what she was coming back to do tomorrow. And it's deceptive because it's like me telling you, give me a moment to think about it. I'll tell you what I decide tomorrow. But me already know me, I'm going to tell you no tomorrow. You know what I mean? I already know I'm going to tell you no tomorrow. I know that today. But I'm buying time to make you think I'm going to go actually do some research. But the fact that she said, you will be schooled tomorrow, told me she already had that planned. Don't know where it came from. There are people out here who are spinning and sensationalizing the story. Oh, she married to such man who have such vlogger channel where don't show him face. I'm more actual wife that the one with all that talk bad about cartel. Or you have some saying that's Paula Llewellyn's close homegirl, you know, a long time them come up together on these things. So she had do a favor for Paula Llewellyn and these kind of things. We don't know or can't prove any of that. I just know that this judge acted in bias, straight up bias, and you could tell from day one what it was going to be. Now, here is her reason for denying the bail yesterday. So everybody understands. Me not take no phone call right now, fam. I have to go through this. And the way how the newspaper put it, new teacher on the block. That's the headline. New teacher on the block. Remember, she said you will be schooled tomorrow in the new teacher on the block. Judge schools Isaac Buchanan and others in denying release of Kartel and his co-applicants. Cock your ears that way for a minute and listen. High Court Judge Justice Andrea Thomas put on a near 50-minute masterclass on Thursday as she ruled that the present incarcerated status of dancehall entertainer Vybz Kartel and two men that he was previously convicted with on a murder charge did not breach the Constitution. In other words, we're not trampling on their constitutional right. We have every right to keep them locked up. Right. During submissions for the writ of habeas corpus, which started on Wednesday, Justice Thomas promised attorney at law Isaac Buchanan, who filed on the trio's behalf, that he and the respondents would be schooled in her judgment. This is when I knew. A writ of habeas corpus is used to determine whether a person's fundamental rights in the Constitution that protects against unlawful and indefinite imprisonment is being breached. Usually when they file that, it basically says, show me what my client did wrong and what paperwork you have to keep them behind bars for an extended period or unreasonable seeming period of time. Charge them with something or let them go, kind of thing, right? The case was brought before her after the Privy Council on March 14 quashed the men's murder conviction. We already know all what happened there so far. Now, the Privy Council quashed their murder conviction, citing juror misconduct, and sent the case back to the Court of Appeals for a ruling on whether they should be retried. The Privy Council quashed their conviction and sent the case back for the Court of Appeal to decide whether they should be retried. If the conviction is quashed and it returns them to being innocent, they should not still be incarcerated. It is your right now to decide if you want to retry them. All right. Kartel, Campbell, and St. John, through Buchanan, argued that the sentencing no longer exists and that the men are no longer viewed in the law as convicts. The application did not involve the fourth former convict, Jones, who we've said before is in some other things behind bars and has other charges to face. So while his Codys are fighting and looking at freedom sometime soon, he's not involved in that because he has other things to answer to. But Isaac Buchanan built his submission on what he said was a gap in the law and said that there is nothing in the Constitution or that Parliament has even considered so far that can address this situation. He said these words: we would have to perform some magical sort of construction to say it look like this or it look like that. Feel free to school me on that, my lady, because that is why I'm here before you. In other words, all he was saying was, I've looked, I've beat my brain in these books, in the annals, in all the rules, laws, and regulations, and there's nothing to back up them still being incarcerated after their conviction has been quashed. So feel free to school me on that. This is where dumbass Jamaicans jump in. Well, That sound disrespectful. Him should have humble himself. Maybe if him did talk to the judge a little bit more humble, she would have make a different decision. What the fuck? What? What? That's exactly what any somebody with sense would have said. Your Honor, I've studied up, down, left, right, center. I'm looking for it, past cases, everything. Can't find any reason in law. So if there is, please feel free to school me. But I think the judge took that personal, right? Who is you? This little dirty Rasta boy, I just turned liar the other day. I come talk about feel free to school me. All right, now go school your bumblehole. But she never used that language there. She said, oh, you okay? You will be schooled tomorrow in the judgment. Right. Simply ask the question. On Thursday, Justice Thomas said she found no lacuna or no little freeway in the law on that issue. ISAT differs. He said there is, because there's nothing that backs up what y'all are doing. Additionally, I pause at this juncture to make the point that whereas an application for a writ of habeas corpus should be made in a proper case, it cannot be used to circumvent the correct procedure just to facilitate the desire for an expeditious outcome. She mumbo jumboing. She didn't school nobody. And I'm sorry, but I'm no big lawyer, but I don't give a damn what nobody says. She didn't school nobody. Because sometimes it don't take no big degree and no years in law to understand something that is right in front of you, clearly explained in layman terms. You understand? She had everything in her power to do this, but this was her reply. Now, the retrial hearing for the 4 men set to begin June 10th. Essentially, the matter have been concluded in the home circuit court by a verdict being entered and a sentence being imposed. That's the original. This court has no jurisdiction. This is why she denied it. She said, this is her grounds. She said her court, now you must remember, a home circuit court is where he got convicted of. The men were convicted. This court that they were in yesterday was in the Supreme Courts. And she is saying that at this court, we have no jurisdiction to make any order in relation to this matter over which the superior court, that is the Court of Appeal, which is a court that is superior to the Superior Court, is now exercising jurisdiction. So basically what she said, for those of you who want to know why she denied the bail, she's basically saying you file habeas corpus in the wrong court. We don't have no jurisdiction to make that decision because this case is now in the hands of the appeal court. So we can jump in it and say free them. The appeal court has to handle that because it's a superior court over our court. Anybody who's ever been in the military or served in any kind of place where there is rank structure or there is a hierarchy of superiority kind of thing, you know how it goes. You don't pass your shift manager and go all the way to corporate unless something is really, really out of place and you know the shit about to roll back downhill, right? You go to levels. So you would go shift manager first, then you would go store manager, then you would go corporate kind of thing. In the military, it's the same thing. You would go team leader first. Your team leader ain't doing shit about the situation. You go to your squad leader. Your squad leader ain't doing nothing about the situation. You go to your first sergeant. Your first sergeant or your platoon sergeant. Your platoon sergeant ain't doing nothing about the situation. You go to your first sergeant of your company. First sergeant ain't doing nothing about the situation. You go to the captain of your company. The captain of your company ain't doing nothing about, or the commander of your company, which is usually a captain. You go to him. He ain't doing nothing. Then you go to all the way up the chain. So it's the same way. That is her explanation. So for the people them who feel like these guys are not going to get out, they definitely are going to get out. They eventually will be getting out. But we just knew that they were going to stretch this as long as they could and as much as they could. She basically told ISAT yesterday that her court has no jurisdiction to make any orders in relation to this matter, over which the superior court, which is the court of appellates, which is a more superior court to her court, now has jurisdiction or is exercising jurisdiction over this case right now. She then added that at this stage, the only competent court to make any order in relation to this matter is the Court of Appeals. That starts June 10th. See? So we are all on the same page now. All right. I want you to leave here understanding why she made that decision yesterday. I want you to leave here, especially the Vybz Kartel supporters, because them me I ride with. I want you to leave here knowing that freedom is on the horizon still. It's just going to take a while to get there. And somebody asks, well, it looked like they're going to have to go back to Privy Council. Can they even go back to Privy Council? They sure as hell can. And I'm telling you right now, the Privy Council is watching this. The hearing for Vybz Kartel's Sean Storm, Kahira Jones, Andre St. John them at the Privy Council was expedited. And it was expedited because there was a special filing that it was filed under, right? And when it was expedited there, it was expected to be expedited on all levels in response to the ruling of the Privy Council. And there is no expedition going on. It's just like a slow dragging of our feet. Okay, we back in Jamaica now, so we are going to do what we do. Let me close this video by saying this. She says the proper recourse for the applicants to seek to pursue their request for release, that is a verdict of acquittal in the Court of Appeals. Now, we will see how that goes. Because the Court of Appeals can either say, we're trying this case over again, or let this case go. The men are acquitted. Privy Council already turned over the verdict. I've seen what the prosecution is working with to try a new case. I've heard the case of the defense team. The case of the defense team is a strong rebuttal. Slim chance of us getting another guilty verdict. We've already gotten 12 years imprisonment out of them. We end it right here. Everybody walk, right? And I think I was reading upon some law yesterday where it actually says for the people who are saying Kartel might sue them and this and that, it was in the Canadian law, and I don't know if it applies in the British law or the Jamaican law, that the men who are incarcerated, them can't sue the individuals who incarcerated them. But we'll deal with that on a whole nother day, because I don't want to put my foot in my mouth. That's what I'm reading upon right now, and we'll discuss that further at another time. Seeing? I'll end by saying this. Some people don't understand what a fight is. Some people don't understand what a fight for freedom is. And you're having a jolly time. Yes, them deny him in there. All you SouFLo, you got all and grey before Kartel come out of that the place there. And you're rejoicing, right? But warriors understand a fight. And you understand that freedom ain't gonna come easy, and it's not gonna come overnight. It's been years that they've been in there and they've been fighting, and the fight continues. There's levels to it, there are steps to it, and we just have to watch the levels and the steps unfold, and there is a fight at every level, at every step. So we remain hopeful, and we hope for the best, same way that the law will play out completely and things will be done according to the law. See? Lulu Ridges says, SouFLo, I admire your passion. Stay true to your convictions and yourself, fam. Walk good. Bless. With that said, the floor is open for a phone call or two if you want to call in. If you don't want to call in, then I'm out of here for the weekend. And I close by saying 60 seconds to see if anybody calls. I didn't want my chain of thought to be broken. I cut off quite a few phone calls. I didn't want my chain of thought to be distracted. I just had to deliver what I had to deliver, right? 40 seconds for the end. Let me sip some of this. This is fresh pressed watermelon and beets. And it tastes so good. Live on the air with SouFLo. Good morning.
Yes. But...
Oh God, make sure say your phone clear, please.
Oh, you hear me better?
Yeah. I don't. If you have us on speaker or anything, we're not gonna hear you properly.
Yeah, man. I come off a speaker, man.
All right, sir.
That's why I say big up yourself, man.
Manners and respect, sir.
All right.
See
Big up Gaza fan for my beginning till now.
Seeing.
You see what I say?
Yeah, what? Yeah.
You see, Cartel I put him as a hero.
Seeing.
Cartel fall under the bracket of Martin Luther King, Malcolm X. You see, the real reason why Cartel they are prison about you now get another Martin Luther King, another Bob Marley, Buju alive same way, Sizzler, Caperton. Because I think the man alone can have the power to pull people against the system.
Mm-hmm.
So you see mistake when they make with Bob Marley, them Malcolm X and all of them on there. They're not going to make them the mistake again.
Seeing.
All right, so for instance, let me give you a simple example. You was a ghetto youth, I know. You win a SouFLoTV.
Mm-hmm.
Is there me say, and you come from Ochi. I must say SouFLoTV a whole heap of millions of dollars.
Yeah, yeah.
And you decide to mind say you come home and you help Ochi people then because they say you come from, you help the community. First thing, them all come to you, system all come to you and tell us, SouFLo, boy, some of you want you to do things, And you ever tell them, say, no. You have your money, so you help the people then because you see your people then want help and that to put in place.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I say?
Mm-hmm.
So now, them are going to look on you as a check because anything to happen in Ochi with them, now you say, so me don't want Ochi people then do that if people them are going to listen to you.
Right. So the influence.
You not work with them and you can pull people them from them.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to have you as a check. Just like popcorn and St. Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
They're not like the popcorn because they put a popcorn and St. Thomas right now and say, yo, don't vote JLP.
Nobody from St. Thomas now vote.
Popcorn because of popcorn and take care of people from over there. What they have to do.
True.
So you see, anti-Jamaican people them unite as one. This thing now go stop because they don't have no leader. As a man rise up to be a leader, the system put him down.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You see what I say? Carter did for that, And Varda did for that prison. Let me tell you straight up. Carter did for that. And Varda got prison. Varda get a chance to escape. So,
Varda.
if they like Cartel, we get being and come out, they might go for Varda. Because they might too poor policeman. Caperton not in the country.
I want stick up in and have people all on there.
They manifest powerful. Buju, that's why they want Buju visa. They don't want Buju for in my country, so Buju should just go on. Because they can pull the people, them, wake up the people, them. Use a sheep without a leader. So
election time I come. Brother, y'all talk some fire, Y'all talk some fire, Listen, man.
Yeah, I talk.
Yeah, y'all talk some fire. No, check this out. Me have to wait. Me have to reiterate this, make the people them hear. Cause y'all talk on some people. Nah, listen. See, election time I come round. Election time I come round, right?
Because this is a whole heap of things.
Election time I come round, right? Hold on, man. Election time I come round, right? You see, Buju Banton step out the other day and lend his influence to one side or one political party, right? And then you said the next thing says what? Him fly out and gone. Suddenly him get back visa. I fly out and gone. Wait, no, man. You say a next thing. And I said this before. You see Mavado, right? You see the other day, when time the lawyer took away Mavado's money, and you see how you said Mavado escaped, right? Because then he was supposed to go to prison, but him escaped them. All right. But my father say, all right, me want my money back, but me now come back to Jamaica for to put me in a no jail. So I'm gonna use an attorney and find out in the law where we can have a court hearing without me being in the country, which means we're gonna do it like how you see me right now on a screen. The lawyer went and looked, and in the law it says yes, that is possible and it can be done. Guess what the court system do at Jamaica? Them go back and find one next law now where say yes, it can be done unless you are wanted. Some of the attorneys say Mavado is not a wanted man. Them say yes, he is. The attorney say go and look up Mavado is a wanted man, SouFLoTV, and see. So this is the first time Mavado I hear say him is a wanted man. So me I said to myself all along, say if Mavado was a wanted man, considering what he is wanted on, how come them never talk to American authorities, try to have him extradited back to Jamaica, do anything like that?
If you go why they can't do that? Because they don't want to have two high profile cases in a country one time. They can't do cartel and border case one time, so they have to do it one at a time. You see, prison sentence the border son get, have to punish border. A border they want, so they just put it on his son and hold his son there, so.
Rascal.
Is there
We did cover that still.
Anytime they do with cartel case, they might go for border, and we can promise you that.
Aye.
A border next.
Me a vibe to the things where you say, bro. Me not say a lie or true as the host of the show. Me a vibe to what you say.
And break down certain things.
Say it.
All right. People are saying the Saint is a farmland, anyone says, what if a farming going on Saint, and Jamaica is a modern country. You see, until the people must think to get together and can block a road and stop certain things, them the time they will get water. Remember, you know, if you don't have no road, you don't have no water, anytime the community people then come together and block a road, they don't see so they get road, they don't see so they get water. But they not unite because they brainwash, they not nobody to lead them, to teach them and show them certain things. The whole way smaller enough to come together to get what they want.
Same.
You see what I say? Until that happens, the government and the system are going to win because first thing, the system come like a church, you know. The pastor collect the offering, you know, tell how much you get the offering, you know, tell how much light bill comes to, you know, tell how much water bill comes, you know, hear nothing. More than here, much billions. They not give back the church, not give back nothing to the community them. Because all of them get by out.
Same. Hey, by the way,
as explained to you from the beginning, Martin Luther King, Mark X, Nanny, Culture, all of them the rebel people, they not gonna make none of them rise up back in our country. And that's why you see Usain Bolt and them and they can't come here and spend no money. Because they might even come back in the community and build up that over there. So they might say, oh, it might done.
Done.
You see me? I say, and get rid of him because they want to have it, them how they want to have it. All right.
You cannot.
Just come out of prison.
Look here.
Go foundation, they might cook some food and feed the people. Them.
Right.
You're wrong. You can't do it.
Can't do it. And them not give him the right to do it. Yeah. And Bojo said, all of them try to do a feed the less fortunate. Yeah.
Because they know the people are going to turn back to Bojo and they know Bojo going to turn against the system because Bojo turn against the system. The people are going to turn against the system.
Well, Bojo was against the system. That's why them never give. Because them they want him influence the people them. Me know what you say. All right, so here one. We're going to cut your shot and give somebody else a chance. See? We're going to cut your shot and give somebody else a chance. I think you said enough. And we understand exactly what you're saying. See? Manners and respect, my brother.
Yeah, man. Big up yourself.
Manners. Listen. When them say Tom drunk, but Tom no fool. Them have a next one that say you can't fool all the people. You can't fool so many people sometimes, but you can't fool all the people all the time. A lot of us know how the thing run and how go on now, man. And this ain't like back in dark ages. I know that's how we did. But I just got a, let me see what wife just sent come give me. On a more positive note. I want our buy minds ASAP. On a more positive note, let me Pull up. Listen, we're gonna end it like this morning. No more come on, no man. No more phone call for the morning. I cut it off right here. So Vybz Kartel just released a new EP. Shout out to Cartel for your strength and your resiliency and for your ability to uplift people even in your darkness. Because the situation that Cartel is in, enough man go behind us and kill themselves in the air. That me I tell you, not only kill themselves, enough man go behind us and mad out in there, are in the freak out, turn over. So for the fact that he is able to still uplift so many, right from which part him there, more power to that. And I'm about to go pick up my EP right friggin' now. And the EP is called Party With Me. It look like it's gonna be a good summer. It's heavy. I heard a couple of tracks on it. The tracks are good. It's called Party With Me. So go pick up Vybz Kartel latest EP, Party With Me. If you're a dancehall fan, I'm not gonna be banging that in the truck all day today. All right. Manners and respect to each and every one of you tuning in. Please remember this. We don't have to agree on everything, but we do. It's necessary to keep mutual respect. It's still love, it's still respect. And I always use this example. People in your family, you don't always agree with them. My mommy, I don't always agree with her, but you can't say nothing to me about my mother. And you can't do my mother nothing and get away with it. You understand? So I think we need to extend that same to each other. We don't agree upon certain things. We see stuff differently. We're different people. We've had different journeys in life that has shaped our views on how things look, right? So we not agree upon certain things, but it's still mutual respect. One love. I appreciate you greatly. Have a wonderful weekend. Surround yourself with people that love you and respect you. All right. And if you don't have that, it's okay to spend some time alone. Get to know you. Love you. Self love are the best love. Out. Peace.